Hey there, James Okungu for C Square Cocktails and Conversations. I have a Cosmo for today's show in hand. Delicious stuff. On my hand this side, I have a folder with my invoices from college, all the money I spent to get my master's degree. Let's talk about college and life. Is it worth it to go to college? Let's get in on this. This is C Squared Cocktails and Conversations. Hey, so if you have $30,000 in hand right now, what is better? Is it better to invest that money in an education or take that money and put it in a business, put it in a startup, put it in the stock market? College or investments? What are your thoughts? I want to hear what you think. I went the college route, right? So I came here over here to the States, got my master's degree in journalism from Indiana University, spent a good amount of change over there. I was there for about 3 semesters, right? I was there for 3 semesters, not about. And each semester I had to take 3 classes, and each of those classes cost about $3,500. So you can put that together, and then I had housing and living expenses and stuff like that. It was a lot of money, and I don't know about you, but I don't come from like a family that's got money like that. So it was a struggle raising the initial money to even get to the States, and then working towards paying my fees and making sure that I had all my arrears cleared before I could graduate. It wasn't easy at all, but I managed it. All those people who supported me through this, mad love. I'm forever grateful to you. And all those people who promised to help me but haven't sent their checks, send them still. I'll still accept them. Anyway, so I was just imagining, like, if right now I had $30,000, let's say I don't have my master's degree, would I take that money and put it towards an investment, or would I take that money and go to school? What do you think? What are your thoughts about it? If you had $30,000, would you go to college or would you put that towards investment? Let's go to the streets of New York and find out what people think. How about that? Let's take this to the streets. This is C Squared Cocktails and Conversations on the Street.
I'm a senior in college right now, and I definitely It's a huge time suck and a money suck, and it's my parents paying for me, so I feel bad. It's like almost $200 at the end of 4 years. So if I had 30 grand that I could do something else with and like make it grow, I would definitely invest it, yeah.
I actually got my master's at Cornell, so I firmly believe an education is the key to unlocking opportunities in life. I do believe that there are other opportunities out there. I'm a firm investor in Tesla, and I'd like, tell anybody to invest in Tesla. But at the same time, if you have an opportunity to get your education and have the understanding to know how to find the right opportunities, the right investments for the future, forever, for you, for your family, for perpetuity, I think that's the key. So I would much rather invest into education than anything else.
I think it's a better risk. Just invest instead of going to college, because it's not a guarantee. Neither one of them is a guarantee. It's a risk. So I guess it depends on you. But I would invest. I already went to college and still in the same situation. So
if you invest and you know what you're doing, then it'll be a guarantee to like double it or just keep doubling it. But if you go to college, you might not find the career like you're looking for.
You'll get the degree, but what are you gonna do after that?
I would say go to college because you get an experience more, so you get more for your buck, I guess. Like you'll have a personal experience and you get a professional experience.
Yeah.
So, all right. So somebody comes to you, says, "Hey, I have 30 grand, right?" Would you tell them to go to college or invest it?
Invest it.
Why?
Because I feel like once you invest
college
it,
already costs you $40,000 a year, so you'll make double or triple that when you invest it every year.
Oh, really?
So it's better if you just invest it.
And if you are gonna invest, American Airlines is doing amazing right now. Hello. Run that. They really are though. American Airlines is doing great right now.
Run that shit up.
That's a good one to invest
No,
in,
it
right?
is. American Airlines right now, they're doing money, bitch.
I'd rather invest and run up a check than take the 30 grand and go to college.
Or
Right.
go to
And be in
trade
debt.
school, and
Be in
spend
debt.
half the money. No, I went to trade school for free.
No, I'm saying like college and being
Oh,
there
I was
after
about
you
to say, I went to
graduate.
trade school for free, nigga. Hell no, take a trade. Fuck you talk about. Take like 7 trades.
What trades did you take?
I took culinary, CPR, that's it. No, I'm doing my EMT though, so holla at me.
People who say that, oh, look at the NBA, look at the, these rappers, the singers, killing it,
Absolutely.
making big bank. None of them have college. Like,
Absolutely.
what would you advise a teenager who's looking at all this and, getting lost in that?
Absolutely. So I would advise them, because yes, it is easy to get lost in trying to make it to the NBA or trying to make it, the fast way or whatever. But honestly, I think that it's a different time where I was an athlete myself. I played high school basketball, I played college basketball. I was on the circuit. I played overseas a little bit as well. But I also knew that the money was dependent on my athletic ability, and that's not stability. When you want a 401k, when you want to buy a house, when you want those type of investments, that's long term. So personally, I knew instead of trying to play overseas and doing that kind of thing, I'd much rather work on my career and have that going for myself, so that in 5-10 years, instead of trying to be coming in entry level, I'm actually someone of a vice president of somewhere, and I'm not starting from the bottom. So from that perspective, yes, there's fast money. Yes, it is easy. And yes, if you're talented, go for it. My buddy here is an amazing artist, and he just hit 1 million streams for a song he just created a few months ago. And I'm super proud of that. But at the same time, I would also recommend that people do the right thing, go to school and all of that.
I would say that you definitely get a return on your investment. It may not be monetary, but you'll get that in connections that you make, and based off of however hard you work, that's what you'll get in your job. So you will definitely get a profession, but you'll get your connections as well. And I feel like you can't put a price to that.
I say fuck college, put your money in something that you want to invest in. Facts, that's it.
Why is that?
Because like if I got 1,000 bands, you think I'm about to spend that shit in college? No, I'm gonna build that shit on myself, like help myself to better my future. That's hard, like.
You have to know what you career, and I think a lot of like 18-year-olds don't know what they want. If you know, for example, that you want to go into business, I think business is a great investment.
Why is that?
Like getting a business major, because you can go to work for Wall Street or work for some, good bank, and you get a good salary right out of college. But for most other majors, for it to be a good return on investment, you have to get more degrees, like a PhD or something. And that ends up being, that's another 6 years usually. It's not worth it. Yeah.
So 30 grand, what do I do? Do I go to college or do I invest it?
Invest it, 100%.
Boom.
Hey, this is James again, reporting from Times Square. Alright, so we come to the end of this. We've got multiple opinions, varied opinions. Some people saying like just take the money and go ahead and invest it, and a few others advocating for college. I took the college route, as I said in the intro. But then, I'm like, if I hadn't done that and I actually had just 30,000 in my hands right now, and somebody was like, should I go to college or should I invest the money? It's a tough one, but I'd have to go with investing the money. Here's why. Because look at what's happening right now with COVID and stuff like that. I'm lucky right now because I have a stable job, and stuff like that. But the job market can be so unpredictable. Like you could go to college, get all your qualifications, get your paperwork, have all this good what's the word? I can't say that word. This is the word I mean. But then you're stable in your job for a bit, and then something like COVID happens or restructuring happens, and suddenly you find yourself out of a job. Whereas there's the same chance that if you invest it, your money may not actually grow. You may actually lose it all. Like the stock market keeps on crashing all the time. So there is not a guarantee. But I guess if you go to school, you always have that degree certificate, so you can always use it, and you can always invest in the future, But if you invest it all and you lose it, it's gone. But if you invest and win, you might just make a big killing. But I have to say, if it was up to me, if I had 30 grand right now in this current situation with the economy and the pandemic and everything, I'd invest it. So that's it for me. James Okungu reporting from Times Square in New York City. See you in the next episode. Cheers.